About a month after an ex-Facebook employee, Daniel Motang, sued the platform over an array of issues. The case appears to be triggering an amendment to the British online safety bill that now awaits royal assent by the Queen. Motang met parliamentarians in the United Kingdom who were drafting the online safety bill, and following his testimony to the MPs, they've introduced an amendment to the proposed law that will hold social media giants accountable for their supply chain, making it harder to hide behind subcontractors. Here now is NTV's Brian Obuya.
The case in Kenya between Daniel Motang and Meta is set to be heard on Monday. Meta, which owns Facebook, is jointly sued by Motang on behalf of all former and current Facebook content moderators who are working at Samia Park here in Nairobi. The content moderators work for Facebook through Summersource, which is subcontracted by Facebook. And with that, Meta has challenged the lawsuit, saying it cannot be sued in Kenya, arguing it does not reside or trade in Kenya. But in the UK, things are different.
11, I'm going to take stand part.
Parliament is seeking to amend the law to make the mother companies responsible and not hide behind their contracted partners.
The contractors are off book from their platforms, operating at arm's length from the services they are supporting, and they are hidden by a chain of unaccountable companies. This creates a hazardous supply chain for the very safety processes platforms claim will protect users in the UK and around the world.
The MPs are seeking to ensure oversight and that human resource processes clearly identify the role and provide content descriptions as well as information on possible occupational hazards to their employees.
These human moderators can be and often are exploited by human resource processes that don't disclose the trauma inherent in the work or properly support them in their dangerous tasks.
Conservative MP for Croydon South opposed the amendment, arguing that the individual countries should put in place their own laws and that the UK could not be the place to make laws that govern working conditions everywhere else in the world. Meta has previously faced scrutiny over content moderators' working conditions. Just last year, a California judge approved a 10.5 billion shilling settlement between Facebook and more than 10,000 content moderators who had accused the company of failing to protect them from psychological injuries resulting from exposure to graphic and violent content. While Facebook did not admit wrongdoing in the California case, it agreed to take measures to provide its content moderators who are employed by third-party vendors with safer work environments.
But what there never has been is a frontal demand like this that says Facebook has got to clean up its factory floor. So the case in Nairobi makes several specific demands about what Facebook and SAMA have to do. It says they have to respect workers' rights to form a union. It says that they have to give them the same level of mental health support that a fancy employee of Facebook would get in the head office in California or here in London. It says a lot of concrete and specific reforms that the companies have to make in order to avoid liability.
The Kenyan lawsuit was filed on behalf of Daniel Motang, who was recruited in 2019 from South Africa to work for SAMA here in Nairobi.
Facebook does outsourcing precisely because they are cutting costs. One reason. Another reason, because they are running away from liability. So they can say, when Daniel has PTSD, and Daniel says, look what you have done to me. So that they can say, but you are not working for me. Which is something that they're saying, by the way, right now. I'm saying this because they are saying that. They are saying, well, I'm not accountable for you because you are not working for me.
Motang says he was not given details about the nature of the work before his arrival.
Doesn't matter, but the point is, you forgot to mention that we'll suffer from PTSD. You forgot to mention that we'll be doing work that involves graphic material, you know. So seeing that you forgot, we are reminding you right now. So as we are reminding you right now, let's include that in the contract and make it one of the terms. And then after doing that, let's talk about pay. And then if we are satisfied and we are all happy and then we can dance and whatever, then we can sign the contract. Oh, by the way, another term, very important, psychiatric support. Wellness sessions is not. And the people who do this wellness, whatever of theirs, they don't know what they are doing. and here's the thing. I've just said now I talk too much, so
no,
I wouldn't have signed that thing if they told me that I can't talk about it there.
The first video Mutang remembers moderating was of a beheading, and that he has since been diagnosed with post-traumatic stress disorder. Mutang has also accused the company of violating his rights to privacy, forcing him to work longer hours, failure to provide adequate mental health support, and irregular payment of salaries.
So workers day in and day out are looking at gruesome content such as beheadings and child abuse. They work in conditions that give a very significant percentage of them PTSD. They do this for almost no pay and with almost no mental health support.
Global attention is now on the Kenyan Labour Court on its jurisdiction or lack of it in the Mutang Facebook case. Brian Obuya, NTV.